everything in the grocery store. 4 firms control 85% of the beef industry. Just 4 agrochemical giants control 60% of seeds. The number of farms has fallen from a peak of 7 million to less than 2 million.
Who would have guessed that when you mix heavy metals, microplastics, pesticides, antibiotic-laced meats, synthetic fertilizers, PFAs, BPA, glyphosate, fluoride, industrial seed oils, GMOs, artificial sweeteners, processed foods, synthetic fragrances, and Teflon, that people get sick?
How much more oppression or economic hardship? You know, we know that 70 to 80% of workers in the country, United States, live paycheck to paycheck. Half of all wage earners earn $30,000 or less. And then what is it going to take, do you think, to have people actually rise up and take back our country? Because we don't live in a democracy. We live in an oligarchy, and your vote really doesn't matter. And Trump is proving that more than anybody right now.
If you went to paper ballots and you're voting, it costs exactly 8% of what the machines cost. And paper is very sophisticated today. Cold watermark, it's impossible to copy, impossible to cheat. It's actually highly sophisticated. But it's watermark, and it's amazing, actually, when you see it. You can't cheat. If you went to paper ballots and same-day voting, and if you went to voter ID, and also one other thing, you want a proof of citizenship. Those 4 things: proof of citizenship, voter ID, paper ballots, one-day voting.
If we don't have honest, secure elections, we don't have a nation. We don't have a free country. In all 50 states, this has to happen.
Take a look here. Favor photo ID to vote. 85% of white people favor it. 82% of Latino. 76% of black Americans favor it. Voter ID is not controversial in this country. It is not controversial by party, and it is not controversial by race.
Hillary Clinton moderates a panel on women's rights, and her first guest is a man. It's a male dressed up as a woman, pretending to be a woman. How ironic. Does the left not see the irony in this?
Jeffrey Epstein, the top Mossad agent in the United States of America, his sole job for the last 15 years has been to catch people like Bill Clinton screwing kids on videotape. And oh, by the way, also Hillary Clinton. Only Bill and Hillary have different preferences. And he's only the tip of the iceberg, because there are easily 100 to 250 other Jeffrey Epsteins across the United States of America doing the same thing in every single state from Nebraska and Kansas all the way to the West Coast, okay? So Epstein just happens to be the one that got caught that's the most public. That's how you control members of Congress, with bribery and blackmail, like Chuck Schumer and Blumenthal and Nancy Pelosi and Dianne Feinstein and so forth. They are compromised in every possible sense of the word.
You got the Epstein files. What do you think? Here's what I think. I think our world is run by a bunch of Satan-worshiping pedophiles. And we pay them taxes. And they tell us what to do. What do you think should be done about it?
Here's the most important email from the Epstein files. All you need is a blood transfusion from the pack and you reverse aging. What does this mean? It means that the adrenochrome conspiracy is not a conspiracy, and that Hollywood and some of the political elite are blood-drinking satanic pedophiles. First, let me explain what adrenochrome is. It's a chemical that is released in the bloodstream when adrenaline oxidizes. It's the body's response to extreme levels of fear, especially in children. Some people call it the fountain of youth. I remember when Mel Gibson said that this is the most valuable currency in Hollywood, and they called him crazy. Now they're doing the same thing to Nicki Minaj. If we look back, they showed us adrenochrome in multiple movies. We were just not paying attention. Okay, so we know that many celebrities and politicians on the right and on the left are on tape doing unthinkable things to children, and that's how they're blackmailed to push a certain agenda. But somehow, there are no arrests, and people are still watching the Grammys, watching their movies, buying their products, and voting to have these rats in office. And while we're talking about this, markets are still being manipulated, we're still being divided, and a digital prison is still under construction. Let's not lose our focus here, but it's also time to demand justice.
Developments are moving at remarkable speed. We are talking about indictments, arrests, and criminal charges unfolding in rapid succession. In many respects, the apprehension of Nicolas Maduro in Venezuela appears to have set this process in motion, The goal is to connect those dots and explain how these events fit together.
Unfortunately, the White Hats have not been 100% successful in stopping the cabal's push to a one-world government. But thankfully, they have been at least somewhat successful at stopping it. Otherwise, Hillary would have won, Kamala Harris would have won her election, and we would be well into a one-world government right now. So the White Hats have bought us time. People who say nothing's happening, they're wrong. But yes, the White Hats have been outmaneuvered a few times. The bad guys have delayed, postponed, and the lawfare using the district attorneys against Trump, which have all slowed down the success or stopped the success. Now is the time to pick a side, hunker down, and do what's needed, because the next generations are going to depend on what we do now in the next couple of years. Make your voice heard.
Trump has two primary things that he wants accomplished during his presidency and to be remembered for accomplishing, not just for America, but for the world: honest elections and honest money. And everybody needs to brace themselves. In the U.S., 85% of the bond fraud that's going on in the U.S., it's all tied to school districts. And that bond fraud is so extensive that at a minimum, you'll lose 600 banks. You have an existential crisis. It's an extinction level event within the monetary community that we're right on the brink of.
All our tax money, our consumer spending, our credit card debt, our mortgages, our car payments. We have to stop looking inside the cage and unplug it from the back of our heads. Never use Amazon again. Never buy another Apple product. De-Google. Take as much money as you can out of the big banks. Put it into credit unions. Only support small businesses as much as possible. Start using cash as much as possible. And step by step, we can shut down this contraption that was designed for extraction, exploitation, and permanent war. You want to vote effectively? Replace every single person inside this machine with a human being who is completely free from corporate money.
You would be very wise to get out of the stock market right now, especially school bonds, banking institution stocks. Right now is not a good time to be in that.
I'm Dr. Scott Jensen, and I am not exaggerating when I tell you, if you're a patient, your doctor, your insurance company, your clinic, your hospital can all get paid more if we make you sicker. And I think you need to understand that. There's all kinds of incentive plans being doled out by insurance companies and government programs to clinics and providers and healthcare systems.
Drain the swamp in Washington, D.C.
His instinct is spot on. The people need to fight against these oligarchs who own the mainstream news media. It's up to us to fight back against their agenda. Please share this, guys.
That is the end of the video, but I am going to include this one last clip only because this is the most clearest UFO video I've ever run across, which is real. And then in slow motion, and then even slower, and you can see everything on it. It's crystal clear. We on Earth are not alone in the universe.